Hi everyone, welcome back to Crystal Clear Tarot. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Shan and today we're diving deep into one of the most thought-provoking cards in the tarot. The Hanged Man. This card is a profound symbol of surrender, spiritual awakening and seeing life from a completely new perspective. So sit back and let's unravel the wisdom behind the Hanged Man, illustrated here with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. To truly understand the Hangman, let's start with some foundational associations. The ruling planet of the Hangman is Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions and spirituality. Neptune urges us to move beyond the material world and dive deep into the realm of the subconscious. The element associated with this card is water, which speaks to emotions, intuition, and the ever-changing flow of life. Neptune and water together create a cosmic landscape of surrender, inviting us to stop resisting life's current and instead float with it, trusting the journey. The Hangman is numbered 12, which reduces to 3. The number 3 is all about creativity, communication, and the synthesis of opposing forces. In this context, it shows that through sacrifice and letting go, we create space for a new perspective and a spiritual growth. In the Fool's journey, the Hangman represents a pivotal moment of transformation and surrender. As the Fool continues his journey through the major arcana, he encounters lessons of external mastery, balance, and power with cards like the Emperor, the Chariot, and Justice. However, the Hangman signifies a dramatic shift. It's not just about external control anymore. It's about internal surrender and seeing things from a different perspective. When the Fool meets with the Hangman, he is brought to a halt, quite literally, suspended upside down. This moment symbolises a pause, an invitation for the Fool to reflect and reconsider his approach. The Hangman's posture, hanging by one foot, indicates a voluntary surrender, showing that sometimes growth and progress come not through action, but through inaction, patience, and a shift in perspective. The Hangman teaches the Fool the value of letting go. Up until this point, the Fool has been striving, learning, and working towards self-realization. The Hangman presents him with a paradox. To move forward, he must first stop and release his need for control. The purpose is to help the Fool embrace surrender, which allows him to gain wisdom that can only be accessed through stillness and sacrifice. The Hangman also represents enlightenment that comes through a willingness to endure discomfort for a higher understanding. The Fool learns that true growth doesn't always follow a straight path. Sometimes it requires pausing and accepting the unknown. Sometimes the best way forward is to step back, release control, and allow things to unfold in their own time. By seeing the world from a new angle, the Fool gains deeper wisdom and insight. This shift allows him to see beyond his limited viewpoint. The Fool is no longer focused on just external achievements. The Hangman marks the beginning of a deeper inner transformation. Through this moment of pause and surrender, the Fool is prepared for the more intense spiritual lessons and trials that await him in the later stages of his journey, particularly the process of ego death and rebirth, symbolised by cards like Death and the Tower. Now let's take a closer look at the card's imagery. The most striking feature is the figure hanging upside down by 1 foot from a tree. This tree represents the interconnectedness of everything in the universe, the spiritual journey that we are all on. Notice the calm expression on the hangman's face. He doesn't look distressed. This isn't a scene of punishment or suffering. It's a moment of voluntary suspension. The upside down position symbolises a conscious choice to pause and see life from a different angle. He's chosen to sacrifice his normal way of viewing the world in order to gain wisdom. One of the most illuminating symbols on this card is the yellow halo or nimbus surrounding his head. In many spiritual traditions, a halo represents enlightenment and divine wisdom. The yellow colour in tarot is often associated with intellect, clarity and illumination. In the hangman's case, this halo signifies that through the act of surrender, the figure is receiving higher knowledge and spiritual insight. The halo tells us that pause and discomfort are not in vain. They lead to awakening and clarity. By sacrificing old ways of thinking, the hangman gains something much more valuable: wisdom and a new perspective. The hangman teaches us the importance of surrender and sacrifice, but not in a way that makes us victims. Instead, it's about releasing our need for control. Sometimes life brings us to a standstill where we may feel stuck or like we can't move forward. This card appears in those moments to remind us that these periods of suspension are not punishments, they are opportunities for growth. The hangman asks us to pause and reflect. When we let go of the need to control everything, we open ourselves up to the wisdom that flows naturally from the universe. We must trust the process even when it's uncomfortable. One of the key lessons of the hangman is the importance of shifting perspective. Hanging upside down represents a willingness to see things differently. Often we get stuck in old ways of thinking or outdated patterns. This card asks us to turn our world upside down, to embrace new ways of seeing life, and to release what no longer serves us. When the hangman shows up in a reading, it's an invitation to let go of limiting beliefs, release attachments, and allow a new perspective to emerge. This is the card that encourages us to trust the unknown, even when things seem uncertain. Now let's talk about the hangman in reverse. While the upright position calls for surrender, the reversed hangman warns of stagnation. It's a sign that we might be resisting necessary changes or clinging to old habits that are keeping us stuck. This reversal can signal it's a time for a shake-up. When reversed, this card can also suggest that we're holding on to a victim mentality, blaming others for our struggles. The key message here is to break free from those patterns and allow yourself to flow with change, rather than resisting it. The hangman is a beautiful reminder that there is power in stillness and wisdom in surrender. By letting go of the need to control everything, we invite in new perspectives and open ourselves to spiritual growth. So the next time you feel stuck, consider the lessons of the hangman. Pause, reflect, and trust the process. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you feel called to. And as always, feel free to leave a comment down below. What insights have you gained from the hangman? I'd love to hear your experiences. Until next time, hang in there and contemplate a new perspective to take you forward. I'll see you in the next video.